So as a designer and a reader in this world, I have one major enemy, and that's Goodreads. Goodreads, if you're unfamiliar, is the largest book reviewing social platform out there on the internet. And I'm a hater. And Goodreads, quite frankly, makes it very easy to hate them because there is so much wrong with Goodreads and their platform. They make it easy. And I dislike it both as a user and designer because as a reader, I know exactly what I would like out of a platform like this, what I want it to do, its capabilities, its functions, its features, and Goodreads doesn't do any of that well. And as a designer, I know exactly what it takes to design, create, and produce some of these products, features, and capabilities to make that happen and actually serve the user, and I know that they don't do any of that. So we're going to be diving into everything wrong with Goodreads, both from a reader and a designer perspective. And yes, I do have some alternatives and solutions at the end, so stick with me. Let's start with the obvious issue of Goodreads, the user interface. If you Google Goodreads and you land on their platform, you can immediately tell that this looks like something designed for the web about 10 plus years ago. It is entirely dated. This even shows if you use the Wayback Machine and compare like pages from 2015 all the way to 2025, and they look very similar. They're basically the same. Very little has changed in a decade. And that's not because this platform is a design masterpiece by any means. No. If you're a designer and you know about web design, the more you look into Goodreads, the more issues you find. It just gets worse and worse the more you look. It's honestly like Pandora's box because the closer you look, you're like, wow. So many problems. The site overall is very cluttered, it is inconsistent, the navigation is incredibly bad, and is barring users from getting to Goodreads' three main features that they describe that they're looking to do, which is help users discover, track, and connect. Looking to discover new books? That sucks. Our breakdowns and our listicles are very broken. You want to actually track your reading? You can do that, but with some struggle. And connect with users, well, that is almost entirely broken. Oh boy. Maybe you're thinking that, well, this is the web experience. It's probably better on the app, which is made for, right? And that would be a reasonable assumption, and you'd be totally wrong. See, the issue with Goodreads isn't just that the UI elements are bad, dated, inconsistent, and don't look well throughout the entire site, but it's also that they don't transport over onto the app and mobile experience. The entire information architecture from web to mobile and app is entirely different. The navigation hierarchy is different. The organization is different. Things are found in different places based on the device you're using. On top of that, it also looks pretty different too. Luckily, for the app's sake, it actually does look a little bit more modern and more up to date than the web, but it's still not great. And the thing is, they should be the same. They should feel like the same product, whether it's on the web or if it's a mobile experience, but it's not. It varies based on whatever you're using, I guess. This makes the platform 10 times harder to use, understand, and navigate across depending on what you're trying to do based on your device. But no matter what device you're using, Goodreads is missing features that users have been requesting for years. They're not just missing on the mobile experience or they're missing on the web experience, they're just missing altogether. For example, DNFing, which is did not finish for bookish people, meaning you grabbed a book, started reading it, and decided you didn't want to read it anymore, so you DNF'd it. Maybe it's bad writing, maybe you found out the book wasn't for you, whatever, you DNF the book. And it's wildly common for users to start a book and realize it is not for them and to not finish it. But on Goodreads, you can only mark a book as a want to read or one you have already read. That's it, you can't DNF the book. Another example of this is incorporating a half-star rating system that users have been begging for. This would be fairly easy to incorporate as well, but has yet to be added. Other basic features that you might expect on a platform like this, such as a tagging or filter systems who search up books based on genre, trope, and mood, or combinations of thereof, are not available. Reading stats based on the user's habits and behavior are also not available. And basic things such as dark mode are not an option. It's dark mode, okay? It's 2025. Where is the option? And all of that sucks pretty individualistically. But with the rise of the book community, with things like Book Talk taking off, you'd think that the community on Goodreads would be thriving, right? And you'd be wrong again, it does get worse. It does get worse. Honestly, it seems like the community features on Goodreads are even worse than the individual features. They are often riddled with bugs and glitches to the point where they are borderline unusable. My understanding, messages are also basically broken and can't be used. Book clubs also seem to be a dying thing on Goodreads based on the lack of clear layout, the lack of feature management, and sheer disorganization of it all. Nothing about the book clubs when you go onto the pages looks very fun or easy to use. It feels very hard to engage in. And it's just as difficult to discover new clubs on Goodreads or find users of similar reading interest. I would also imagine that an actively run club would probably be better served by the features on something like a Discord server. A lot of features that Goodreads clubs simply don't have. It's not really community or friend oriented, so we're kind of missing out on the whole connection part of the Goodreads ecosystem. And that's despite Goodreads homepage essentially functioning and looking like how a social media platform would, like Facebook or Instagram. Even though there's a feed and main homepage operating like that, it's still incredibly difficult to make friends or connect with people or other clubs. It's really hard to see what people are reading, sharing, and reviewing at this point. Speaking of reviews are probably the most usable part of Goodreads. You can see pretty easily what other users have reviewed on their page and see the collective reviews of any particular book on the books page very easily. But compared to other competitors in the space and the major controversies tied to Goodreads review system, this could all still use a major overhaul. Like mentioned previously, Goodreads forces reviewers to use a whole star rating system and to say they have read a book in order to review it, which is an issue for DNFing because you can try to read a book but still be able to review it because it was just that bad for whatever reason you didn't finish it. On top of that, users can leave a title for their review and enter any information in the text box, either in paragraph format, bullet point format, to leave their feedback on the book. Even a few short words works, whatever. And that's it. And that's the thing. That's it. You can't log any other details like what type of way you read the book, whether that be in a physical format, a digital format, or an audiobook. You can't tag what tropes, mood, or genre you think the book aligns with. You can't vote on words or styles used to describe the plot, writing style, or theming of the book either. None of that. It all has to be in that paragraph format and nothing else. All free written, which is very limited review capabilities. Even on platforms like Glassdoor, where we are reviewing employers, you have more review options and capabilities than you do on Goodreads that have a lot more little niches and are a lot more common to review. This demonstrates Goodreads' overall lack of understanding for the users and the community it serves, while willfully ignoring emerging technologies that are already out there that Goodreads could easily implement to better serve the users and its community, but it chooses not to do that. Let's pause for a second because all of that about Goodreads sucks and is killing my dreams. It's all very lame, but I'm going to tell you really quickly about my very cool newsletter called Creative Mess in Progress, where I detail my creative journey and the behind the scenes content of making other creative things and videos like this. If that sounds interesting to you, the subscribe button is down below. All right, back to the Goodreads drama. But the major issue with Goodreads reviews is tied to its most recent major controversies, which is the fact that reviews do not have to come from verified accounts. Basically, what this means is people can set up an account and be reviewing books and content within seconds of their account creation, which is easy, fast, and seamless, which also makes it quick and easy for bad actors, spam, bots, and trolls to easily review the same books. This makes it easy for spammers to cause a cascade of review bombings with ease, potentially tanking a book before it even comes out. There have been several highly publicized incidents of this happening, as well as dozens of others that have gone unnoticed. This is really bad for a lot of reasons. The first one being the prevalence of fake and spam reviews. Review bombings and mass false reviews can quickly tank a book's rating, regardless of the quality of the actual book. The second reason this is bad is it can incite attacks on authors. People can be review bombed for personal beliefs or just otherwise insidious reasons. This has happened to a lot of Black authors, LGBTQ plus authors, or authors just including themes that are more inclusive in the book. It has caused these authors to get a target on their back and on their reviews in an unjust manner. The third reason this is bad, it lacks a ability to verify early readership. Now, in the publishing industry, it is incredibly common to send advanced copies out to potential readership ahead of its official release. These readers generally review the book in a genuine manner. But with the current review system, we can't actually verify who is a vetted person who has actually received an advanced copy, and it could just be anyone kind of bringing down or falsely bringing up a book's reviews prior to it coming out, which can affect sales greatly. The fourth reason this is bad, like we've kind of already touched on, is it can artificially inflate a book's reviews. Not uncommon for folks who have a large social influence that are also releasing a book to have kind of a fan love bombing on their book prior to it coming out before any of these people have actually read the book. It's a lot of falsified fanfare for something they haven't even read yet. The fifth reason that this is bad is that a lot of small authors cannot be helped if this happens to them. Now, someone like Hank or John Green would easily be able to get the attention of Goodreads to stop this from happening. But other small authors, indie authors, self-published authors might not have the same support or care from Goodreads. They don't necessarily get Goodreads attention. These small and indie authors can report these incidents like anyone else. But with these small indie authors having little traction or little audience, their reviews and reports kind of get lost in the wayside. If they get a response at all, it is often slow. There isn't a lot of content or report moderation on Goodreads, which can potentially tank an author's career forever. I don't want to see folks get caused undue harm based on Goodreads reviews. Whether that be an author who is just starting out in their career and trying to sell their first published book, or a customer looking to spend their hard-earned money or free time on a book and potentially missing out on a great experience because of bad review bombing, or falsely picking up a book that has been overly fanfare fandom love bombed. I want their money to be well spent on reviews they can actually trust, whether they are genuinely good or genuinely bad. That's up to them. And the thing about this is that there is no way to solve all of these problems, right? There's no one silver bullet. But we could help mitigate these issues very easily, and that can include things as simple as email verification, having a review badge system like an upvote and downvote sort of thing similar to Reddit, and having an overall more robust reporting and content moderation system. And yes, that last part can be more resource heavy. It's certainly not groundbreaking. And with who owns Goodreads, they can certainly afford to put more might and more money behind their platform. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, the Amazon of it all. Amazon bought Goodreads back in 2011, and since then there has been yet to be a lot of development on this platform. It has pretty much stagnated since. And the reason why Amazon bought Goodreads back then is pretty straightforward. This is not a mystery. But if you don't know, here's the brief synopsis. So in the early 2000s, Amazon was primarily known for selling books and was a major disruptor to the book market, especially brick and mortar stores. In 2008, they took an even bigger share of the book market by purchasing Audible, today's largest audiobook platform. And to immerse themselves even more in the buying process, why not start where users are sharing books, discovering them, and reviewing them? To be a part of the process end to end, Amazon bought Goodreads in 2011. They did this to be a part of the buying journey every step of the way, because Goodreads, the world's largest book review platform, only links out to Amazon sold books. Goodreads to them is just part of the customer sales funnel. If everyone is going there to look for and discover books, might as well just hit that buy button and link it over there, and bada boom, Amazon has got a new sale. In economic terms, this is called vertical expansion and is often pretty monopolistic. And nowadays, Amazon isn't really super focused on selling books. That's not their main thing. Nowadays, they sell everything. Because Amazon is literally making hundreds of billions of dollars a year still, they don't really need to focus on Goodreads as much to push book sales. They're not as worried about it, and therefore Goodreads has pretty much fallen by the wayside and out of upkeep cycles. Despite all this, Goodreads still remains one of the largest book reviewing platforms out there. It's the largest and most well-known, even despite its less than desirable user experience. It's not the best, it's simply the biggest. On top of that, they do have the most resources to outrank any other competitors using SEO practices on Google. Even if Goodreads sucks for users, publishers often describe Goodreads as a necessary evil simply due to its large user base that defaults to Goodreads because it doesn't really know that there's anything else out there, because Goodreads is backed by Amazon's massive dollars to bump it up on Google's SEO. Because if you can still push a few more sales, why not? It all comes back to good old-fashioned capitalistic greed. But there's still hope, folks. There's still hope. Stay with me. Stay with me, I promise. Contrary to what Google's SEO would have you believe, there are Goodreads alternatives out there that are good. One of the ones I've seen talked about the most is Storygraph, a social book platform that is focused on personalization with a lot of book recommendations personalized to you with in-depth data points as to your reading habits. Another alternative that I just found out recently at the end of the making of this kind of video series is Fable. Fable is another review platform for books and TV shows. It's kind of like if Storygraph and Letterboxd, but without the movies, had a baby. That's Fable. They also have a lot of social features and in-depth user data points as well that are similar to Storygraph with a more friendly user aesthetic. I have tried both of them, although admittedly a lot less for Fable, and can highly recommend both. They are both far better than Goodreads and literally address every single shortcoming of Goodreads and more. By using another platform, this can help you get further and further away from Amazon and purchasing from there or supporting their platforms, because do you really need to give Bezos any more of your bucks? Does he deserve your dollars? I don't think so. I don't think he does. Both these alternatives are fantastic, and I will have them linked down below. If you're still not sold on how much better Goodreads could be, I want to walk you through a concept competitor I designed called Well Read. I made this just to show you how much better the platform could actually be. There are real solutions, there are real ways to improve, and there are real ways to address all the issues that are plaguing Goodreads. They'll just never do them. If you like this video, don't forget to check out where I designed Goodreads competitor, Well Read, and if you want something similar to this, you can check out my Decline of Pinterest video over here. And otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!